Hey guys, happy Sunday! I hope you are having a glorious Sunday. Let me know what you guys are up to. But before we dive into all of that, if you don't know who I am Tara with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot. You can learn a little bit more about me by checking out the information box down below and clicking on my website, kittensweightsandtarot.com, or perhaps checking out the witchy shop over on Etsy, Desert Cauldron, all one word. And if you're looking for fun ways to support the channel, you can always check out YouTube members and Patreon. Lots of good stuff going on over there. All of that is down below. But yeah, let me know what you guys got going on today. So we are outdoors, obviously, in the forest. And we have actually a very special little DIY cooked up for you guys as per your request. Ooh, sorry, my computer just disappeared here. Okay, so I put out a poll every Thursday-ish, and I always offer up 4 suggestions on what you could have or what we could do during the Sunday live chat. And it seemed like it was pretty overwhelming what people wanted for this Sunday's live chat, and that is to create a Earth Mother incense. So I have all of the ingredients to create that Earth Mother incense for whatever dedications, whatever rituals, whatever offerings you would like to give Mama Gaia, Mother Earth. I feel that this incense is going to be rather appropriate for that. And oh, hey, the sun's coming out. What's up? So we'll be diving into that, but before we go into our lovely incense blend that we're going to create, our very sacred incense, we are going to be doing the weekly reading. So let me know if you guys will be chiming in on the reading. I do highly encourage people to offer up their messages and their insights utilizing good old-fashioned intuition. Perhaps you're channeling the messages. Maybe you're slanging some cards. Maybe you're slanging some runes. Maybe you're throwing the bones. I don't know. So let me know what you guys are working with. All right, Lily's saying hi, what's up? And hey, mighty moderators coming in the house, like Kayla. She says your hair looks so pretty. Oh, thank you. And Lily says good day. You look great. Loving the bangs. Well, thank you. Oh, hey, the last time I cut bangs on myself was back in college, and and it was like I was sick in bed and I was like, man, I need to do something. I'll cut my bangs. So I just like grabbed my hair. I grabbed like the scissors that were in my desk and I was like snip, but it was crooked. And I was like, let me straighten it out. I'm like snip, snip, snip. And then it was crooked. I was like, let me straighten it out. It was snip. Before that long, I had these like baby bangs that were like up here, and I was like, well, that went wrong terribly fast. Like, so I was a little hesitant this time, but I have been like trimming and cutting my own hair for years now. So I was like, I'd probably be okay doing my bangs. And it was so happy. First try, they came out straight. And then I just like, cleaned it up a little. I tried to keep the sides like a little bit long. But yeah, I was really happy with them. And also, you know, well, if we want to go back into like tradition and stuff, the Pima women were known to have bangs, long dark hair and bangs. And I was like, and this, I didn't actually learn that till after I cut my bangs. And I was like, hey, because I was like looking up stuff about my Pima ancestry. And I was like, I look just like the ladies there. I was like, oh, wow. I totally did my hair Pima. That's awesome. um, Lily was like, oh no. Well, but that happened a few times back in the day where I was like, no, this time I'm gonna cut my bangs straight. And I was like, snip, 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 snip. But I learned that the trick was just to pull it front, pull it up to the bridge, twist it, snip, straight every single time. Oh, and then I pull it back and twist for a layered look. But I have since gotten fancy with my hair. Anyway, all right, you guys. So welcome to this Sunday's live chat. um, and I hope that you guys are having a good time. So let me know. What do you guys have cooked up today? Actually, this upcoming week is my little brother's birthday. My brother will be, hold on, let me do the math, 38. My brother's going to be 38 because I'm 6 years older than him. Yeah. So check it out. So me and my little brother, this is something that we've joked about since we were like really young. We are both in the 6th month. We're both June babies. We're in the 6th month, 6 days apart and 6 minutes apart. Like, oh, by the way, and we're 6 years apart. So yeah, 6 years, 6 days, and 6 minutes apart. So he was born at 5:07 p.m. I was born at 5:01 p.m. Like, isn't that crazy? Like, it just like at a certain point, my brother and I remember, oh gosh, how old was I? I was like 14 or 13 or 14. I don't know. I was like a really young teen. And we're both sitting on the couch. I don't know what we were watching. And like our birthdays were coming up. And I was like, hey. And he used to say, he goes, we're the devil children. And I was like, yeah. I was like, we're 6 days, 6 years, and 6 minutes apart in the 6th month. And he's like, wait, that's too many sixes. And then he's like, wait a minute. What was it? Uh, he was going on about yeah, no. I think he was like freaking out. He was like, wait, does that mean are you more devilish than me, or is it like me that's more devilish than you? And then he's like, and then I was like, wait a minute. I was like, if we're that close, like, in like the date of our birth, that means our parents got busy at the same time for both of our like conceptions. And my brother was like, eh. I was like, eh. Because we were like teenagers. And, well, I mean, I was a teenager. He was still in elementary school, but we are like, eh. And we traced it back, and we're like counting back 9 months. We're like, that's Mama and Papa's anniversary. We're like, eh. Yeah, it's because we're estupidos. Lily's over there cracking up. Lily says, looks great. I was telling my daughter that I was gonna get some bangs. Hey, I mean, you should go ahead and do it. And you know what? I looked all over like YouTube for like all these tricks to like make sure that I get them cut straight this time, because back in college, I mean, I suppose there was YouTube. I'm not really sure, but I don't recall a YouTube. So it was like, good luck. Uh, so I was looking up like Brad Mondo and like all these other like hairstylists, and I was like, twist, rise, and snip, and twist, and snip. um, Lily's like, wow. Lily's still cracking up over there. Nice one. Hey, and Silver Star Priestess is in the house. What's up? Love you, girls. All y'all. And Duality Tales is here saying, hey, what's up? Okay, well, as far as decks go for this weekly reading, I have like all of the cat decks that I own. So for your kitty cat pleasure, let me show you all of my cat decks. Let me put my lip gloss over here. Okay, so first deck that has a cat on it and in it, but not necessarily a kitty cat deck, of course, is my Wally's World. So it's got my little Puma, my little Siamese Wally, in every single card. Well, no, I take that back. There are 2 cards that he is not in, because Presley, who is a cat of mine that passed away, he is on the final card in the deck. And then my other cat, Herb, he had passed away. So he is also in the deck. But all the other cards have Wally in it. And so I was like, okay, well, it's technically kind of got kitty cats in it. So it's like a kitty cat deck. Then I have the Sember deck. This is actually, it's all in Russian, but it's got some awesome like little kitty cat images on there. Wow, that sun is intense. I hope the clouds actually come back so my cell phone doesn't overheat. Okay, we have the Magic Nico deck. We have the Meows Tarot. I mean, if the sun gets too intense, I'm going to go up on the porch. The Solitary Witch, again, not really a cat deck, but it's got kitties painted in every single thing. So I was like, okay. Of course, I have Hello Kitty. I have, again, these are all of my cat decks. I just felt like I need all of them. I have the Cat Tarot. I have the Weird Cat Tarot. My friend Steph in Belgium gave me this random galaxy playing cards, but it's got like really like cool, weird kitties on every single card. So it's technically a cat deck. Then I have Cat Mythos and Magic Oracle. One of the newer decks, actually. It's awesome. And then I have the Pause Tower, Pause Tower, Pause Tarot, Future in Your Pause. Come on, clouds. I've never really asked for clouds before, but if I could get a little sky hat, that would be awesome. Then we have the Catchy Oracle, Tarot of the Pagan Cats, which is kind of falling apart because I bought it used and it's been well loved. At least the box has. The cards are okay. And then last but not least, I have my Mystical Cats tarot that I had in this little pouch. Super cute. I use this deck actually mainly when I'm doing my Rainbow Bridge readings, which I offer on my site. But you know, I guess I use it in other readings too. But if I'm doing the Rainbow Bridge, this is always the deck that I utilize. Alrighty, so homies, want to say hello. Thank you to everybody who joins us on Sundays. Thank you to everybody who watches videos and gives them thumbs ups and shares them. And to all of my subscribers, thank you, thank you, thank you. Love you guys. Also to my mighty, mighty moderators who hold the wrench of destiny. Thank you guys so much. And also to my YouTube members, Kayla, Nancy, Astra, Jolene, Duality Tales. You know who they are because they got a cute little colored kitty head next to their name. And then my Patreon homies, Lily and Dana and Jamie and Kayla and Sugna Baby and Brandy, Jason, Brian, Palu, Crystal, Easy Does It, Oz, Joel, 1111, Casey Gritter, and Calm Chaos. So love you guys so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Everybody's saying hello. Duality Tales says, hey, hey. Kayla saying hello to Heather. And Lily says, YouTube came on in 2006. Okay, so that was after college. Thank you. Maybe I'll shade the camera. Well, I have a plethora of hats to choose from. Thank you, thank you. So this will do wonders for my face. Nice. I like it. Thanks. All right. Actually, that is a lot better. But maybe I could have like a hat for the camera, just like whoop. Because the camera is getting hot. Well, actually, I'm wondering, you guys, because we are getting closer to summer and the sun starts to get like really intense. So I'm wondering if I should actually move everything to the porch unless we get a sky hat, because then my little cell phone, for the first time, it wasn't even that warm yesterday. And I was in the shade, but there was like dabbles of sun coming through, and I was filming the video that actually is coming out tomorrow. I have a deck review coming out tomorrow. It's been a long time since I've done a deck review, but I did a deck review for the Oracle of the Phoenix. Man, been really working with those Phoenix vibes. So I decided to do a review on it, and I went out into the forest. And my phone got the warning after like 12 minutes that was like too hot, overheating, shutting down. I'm like, what the deuce? So yeah, maybe I'll go out on the porch. I'm not sure. Okay, so I will pull some cards actually for the weekly reading, and then yeah, I'll do that. I'll just move everything to the porch so we can get some shade. Let's see. Silver Star says it's showing crowns with hashtags instead of kitty cats. Oh, interesting. And Silver Star says, is it just me or am I seeing that? Not sure. Although I see kitty cats in my brain and I think other people don't see them. But anyway. Lily says, ah. Kayla said, I see it also, but the cat is there too. Oh, Silverstar, he says yes to that. This is Tara, don't want the phone melting in this heat. Definitely feeling that summer sun coming in. Definitely. It feels good. I mean, on my skin, I'm all good. I feel good, but electronics don't. I guess electronics don't like to go out and tan. Like whatevs. um, Lily says your phone was feeling them Phoenix vibes for sure. And Lily says, I see the crown too. Um, okay. All right. So you know what? We will. I will move us on over, but I'm gonna do our weekly reading first, and then I'm gonna move us on over for our incense blend. So, what deck do I would like to utilize? Do 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 do. You know what? I want to use this deck and this deck. What the hey? Let's use both of these. So, and like I said, you guys, let me know what decks you guys are working with. You know, totally jump in on this reading for sure. Um, so let's do a little shuffle of the Cat Mythos and Magic Oracle just to get an overview of this upcoming week. Like I said, my little brother's birthday is coming up this week, June 4th. My baby bro, the one that I remember the day that he was born, and I was so excited. I remember the little pin that I was wearing with the little stork, and when the pin made contact, when you connected it, it blinked like the stork was tossing a marble. So like my little pin was blinky, and it said "It's a boy" on it. And even though I desperately wanted a sister, I was like, well, okay, that's fine. Well, let's just say that later on, when he was a baby, I dressed him in my Cabbage Patch dresses because I was trying to turn him into my sister. And my dad would come in, he's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "This is my little sister, Brianna." And my mom's like, "Please don't turn your brother into a little sister." I'm like, but yeah, I mean, and he had these gorgeous like little curls. My parents kept his hair long for so long, and people used to think I was his big brother, and they thought he was my little sister because my parents always kept it super short. And I dressed like a tomboy, I guess. I was always wearing like culottes and LA gears and tank tops. So I I don't know, I guess I dressed boyish. So everybody thought I was like a big brother, and everybody thought that my adorable little brother with his cute little mullet that they gave him. But that was my little sister. But anyway, I was so proud the day he was born. I remember seeing once they carted him into the window, and I was like, "Oh, that's my brother." I was like, "He looks like a papoose." I was like, "He kind of looks like a monchichi." And I was like, "Is he my birthday gift?" Because my birthday was in like, 6 days. And my parents were like, "No, your brother is not your birthday gift." I was like, "Oh." um, Silver Star cracking up. She says, I brought the Healing Waters Oracle and Fairy Oracle. Nice. John says, happy solar return, brother, and hello to everyone. Well, thank you. Thank you. I will pass it on. Actually, I have a card to mail out to him on Monday. Hopefully it gets to California in time. I mean, California is not that far away. Come on, Postal Service. So, all right, we have our card that is pulled. And let's pull some cards from my Mystical to Cat Tarot for some clarification. I haven't turned the card over yet, so we'll see. Oh, hey, Sky Hat. I love it. I dig it. Keep it going. Love the vibes. um, Silver Star says, aw. Okay. So yeah, anyway, baby bro turning 38. I don't know if he watches my live chats. I know he sees me on social media, like on Facebook. Well, actually, I'm not on Facebook, but technically I still have a Facebook account. But everything I post to my Instagram stories automatically gets shared to Facebook. So people think I'm on Facebook, but I'm not really. It's like I'm on Instagram. But anyway, so he sees me on there. So, but Brian, if you're watching, I love you. Happy early birthday. Brain. I used to always misspell his name, Brian. I always spelled it Brain. My mom's like, that's brain, sweetheart. I was like, No, Brian. She's all, Brian. And I was like, oh, but I always misspelled it brain. So now I do that on purpose in his cards and stuff. I'm like, what a brain. Anywho. Okay, so we have my clarifiers. I'm just gonna put this like this. Alrighty. Okay, so let's see what that kind of overall card was for the week. Silver Star says, yes, happy birthday. And then it says, I know yours is coming up in my phone. Yup. Not next week, but the week after. I always look forward to my solar return. You know, some people are like, oh, I don't like getting older. I don't like birthdays, but it's never really registered that I'm getting like quote unquote older. To me, it's like, oh, it's that anniversary where I get to have a party. I get to have like, cake and like ice cream. And so I don't know. It's never ever registered that it's like, oh, you're this many Earth years old now. I'm like, okay, where's the party? I like parties. I like to invite people to parties. Like I'm just here for the solar return party. I mean, you know. Okay. Ooh, we have Avanik. Doesn't he look like Loki? Actually, dude, he looks just like my cat Loki. Well, Loki is a Bombay, and he's like twice the size of Wally. He's a huge little panther with these like golden, golden eyes that just like, it's like he's the Cheshire cat in the dark where all you see is the eyes. And if he were to smile, that's all you'd see is like teeth and eyes, like just in the dark. Anyway, so let me tap into this one. And Lily saying happy birthday to Brian. Again, I'll pass on the birthday wishes. Thank you guys so much. All right, so he's in this little barn and it's like he's just chilling next to the rake and the hay. Okay, so I'm getting this like that the week may start off rather busy. Wow, is this computer heating up? That's interesting. I think it's too hot outside for the laptop. Anywho, so I feel like the beginning of the week is going to be rather busy for some of us. And that's interesting because my brother's birthday is also at the beginning of the week. But just as far as like, oh, I got to get this done, I got to get this done. But also not just in the 3D, but I feel like a lot of spiritual messages coming in. So it's like, oh, it's like I'm busy here, like doing 3D stuff and like, oh, I'm like in total like meditation and just like being inundated with messages. And it's like, it's a lot going on. But then it feels like everything coming to like a screeching halt like mid to late week. So like I don't know, Wednesday, Thursday-ish, somewhere around there, just like everything hitting the brakes. It's saying not to freak out. It happens. Things kind of, they come in waves, they ebb and flow. So if you're one of those people that's used to having like the busy, busy, busy lives, and I'm getting like busy, busy, busy downloads, and that's just your jam, then you might not even notice that the week has started off busy because it's just like, a normal Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for you. But however, everything does for everybody else come to a screeching halt. So if you're one of those busy, busy people just all the time, you may notice it more than the people who are like, wow, it was super busy now. We've come to a halt. And it's like, wow, it's a nice break. But it all comes from perspective, right? So people who are used to just, being busy bees all the time, that screeching halt might seem like panic, like, oh my gosh, something's wrong, something has happened, why is everything stopping, where are all my downloads, where are all my messages, where's like, why aren't things moving here in the 3D, like why won't the mail move faster, why won't this line at the DMV move faster? I mean, when does it really move fast? But anyway, so and so it might seem very frustrating when everything comes to a screeching halt. However, if people are just kind of used to, things are just plodding along, then whoa, everything's kind of like crazy right now. And then, oh, everything came to a halt. It becomes like a breath of fresh air. The energy is exactly the same, things coming to a halt. But you notice that for some people, it's going to seem like a nightmare because everything is at a standstill. And for other people, it's going to be a blessing because everything has come to a standstill. So, whatever group you fall into, it's definitely a time to pause and take reflection. How am I feeling about this? If everything's come to a standstill and I'm frustrated with this, why does that bring me frustration? So it's a perfect time for some meditations, for some journaling, and just why we enjoy the previous energy as opposed to the current energy. If we feel that we're overwhelmed by some of the stuff that was happening earlier in the week, and this is a welcome reprieve, then why am I feeling that way? Again, there's light and shadow and everything. Everything is a learning experience. So take that time to just pause, reflect. Why do I feel this way? How am I feeling? How is my mental state feeling? How's my emotional state feeling? How's my spiritual state feeling? How's my physical body feeling? Because oftentimes we feel many of our messages through our bodies. So sometimes we might all of a sudden have like a pain in our shoulder. It's like, what did I do? Did I sleep wrong? But it could be a message about this standstill energy that we're having, or maybe that shoulder pain comes in when all the craziness is happening at the beginning of the week. So just definitely time for reflection. But I did pull some clarifiers. So let's take a look at that. And Silver Star says, use your wisdom this week to tap into your inner fairy wisdom. You're wise beyond your years. Take the challenges that is presented to inspire you to move forward. Use discernment moving forward. And then she said, something new is around the corner. Use your inner power, be confident, and change or claim your space. Very nice. Love it. That is a beautiful message. All right, Riley coming in with happy birthday, Brain. Brian, yes. And Silver Star says, come out of hiding and embrace who you are. Love it. John says, yeah, I feel like the energy has been crazy. Not bad, just a lot. Exactly. Yeah, I'm not trying to say it's like big, dark, foreboding energy. It's just a lot of energy. It's just intense. So yeah, I second John on that one. Um, Riley saying, buenos dias. And then Lily's like, ooh, sounds like a reset. We shall see. All right. So we have the Four of Sea, which is like our Four of Cups. We have the Sky Queen, which is your Queen of Swords. And then we have the 10 of Sky, which is like your 10 of Swords. Ooh, definite coming to an ending. All right. So it's saying that slamming on the brakes energy is, in a way, each of us will experience it differently. It's a mega release. And Lily was talking about a reset. So it could be a reset of our energy. It could be a reset of our environment. It could be a reset on our path. It could be a collective consciousness reset, but it's going to be different for all of us. So when that thing comes to a slamming halt, whatever, all this energy, and it's like, why is everything so quiet all of a sudden? Why is everything paused all of a sudden? Because we just got rid of an old belief system, an old energetic system, perhaps some old attachments. There's something that no longer served us. And it was like gearing up, almost like I keep seeing like a mixing bowl, like somebody's like mixing, 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 and then you let the dough rest because something new is about to be created. It's not going to be just dough for long. That's about to be like Earth Mama's bread. That's bread of the earth. It's going to be something completely different at a certain point. And I feel like that's where we are. We're in this mixing phase of like mix, mix, mix. Ingredients are getting tossed in like crazy. It's like flour and water and salt and sugar and yeast. and then let it rest. Just chill out. Just don't touch it. Don't even look at it. And it's about to be something brand new. So anyway, that's really what I'm getting is something brand new is showing up in our lives. I think you guys are all getting this in a different way, but it's going to be good. It'll be new, which might be a little awkward at first, but it's going to be good. It's good for all of us. We're releasing things, you guys. So change is good. Change is inevitable. Silverstar says grounding is something I'd like to make an effort to do and center yourself regularly. It will help morning walks and late evening walks help if you can. Definitely. And Kayla's saying hello to Riley. And Silverstar says that's no joke, you know, what's been going on with me personally. Same. um and then Riley's saying, hola, Kayla. All right. So let's go ahead and put this away. And I'm going to take my party over to the porch and let's make some Earth Mama incense. I'm super excited about this. I guess I don't need to take everything. I will have a sip of water though, but I will take my accoutrements here. So you guys get to go on a little walk with me. Isn't that exciting? A walk over to the porch. But I just think for the sake of my camera, we shall do this. All right. Hey. Okay. So I'm gonna bring this baby. And whoops. You know what? We're gonna carry it like this and be all like responsible and stuff. There we go. Okay. On a hike ski to the porch ski. Okay. Beautiful. Maybe I can be on Rex's bed. Maybe he won't mind. Okay. Ta-da. All right. So I'm just going to bring over my incense stuff and yay, we'll do our incense. Okay. All right. Let me grab my tools and then I'll be right back. Ooh, I think that overheated. The laptop overheated. Let's see. I'm gonna bring a cat deck with me. Ooh, weird cat. That's gonna be awesome. Okay, here I come, you guys. Ta-da! Hokey dokey. Hokey dokey artichoke. Well, here we are. Welcome to the porch. Okay. Okay. Here we are. Okay, so just making sure this screen is as bright as it could be so I can see your all's comments. Silverstar says, I'll have to send you a picture later of those cards. Oh, definitely. Definitely. I can't wait to see. Okay. So, Earth Mama incense. Oh, I guess I don't need my hat anymore because we are in the shade. Oh, hey, Rex. What's up? Oh, you got a bone. That's awesome. Check it out. Guess who's hanging out? It's Rex. And I think he's got a special treat. All right. So let's go ahead and get started with this. So Earth Mama incense, Earth Mother incense. The the wow, that's weird. I hear like myself echoing. um, so the different incenses, or I mean, the different parts for this incense that I have chosen are based on earth energy, what I feel Mama Gaia needs at this time. So basically, this is an offering to her. So you could use this in ritual, any of like your Mama Gaia rituals. You can use it during Earth Day, June 21st at the summer solstice, aka Litha. What's up? Anyway, um, but you could also use it, in some of your more earthy meditations. If you're wanting to do a bit more grounding and get more connected to Mother Gaia, then I feel that the herbs used in this will be helpful in that and aiding in that. But again, these are my personal picks, personal suggestions on my personal connection to Mama Gaia. So it might be different for you. You might be like, oh, I don't really resonate with that herb. I say, with everything, just use it as a jumping off point. Let everything just be an outline. Because for all the like recipe books that I have and witchy recipe books that I have, and like, my magical like spells books and things like that, I never do everything exactly the way somebody else had done it in their practice, because that was them using their intuition, how they felt, about a particular thing. And for me, I look at it and then I see how I feel about it, and I let that spark my creativity into maybe something that looks completely different. But I want that to be this for you guys, so let it be a jumping off point. Maybe you come up with something completely different. Maybe you make your own cone incense or something like that. Or maybe it's just inspiration for a type of offering, like a food offering that you're going to do, and it has nothing to do with incense. So like I said, let this just be a jumping off point for you guys. Um, Lily says, Rex the warrior. Yes. It says, when done, give Rex my scratches, hugs, and kiss from me. I definitely will. Will do. Put that on the to-do list. Love Rex. Okay. Let's see. Let's move my little tools here to the side that I like to use when I'm creating like a very sacred incense. I'll show you guys that in a moment, but I'm going to scoot back so that you can see what I'm going to be doing here. All right. So bye. We're going down, 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 down. Okay. Hello. Welcome to my legs. Okay. Just going to move that off to the side. Don't need to see that. Okay. So I have my little cauldron here, and I am going to be using these little charcoal briquettes to actually burn my incense with. And so that's why I have the candle, so that I can light the candles, so that I can burn the charcoal, so I can get it started, and then I'm going to put it in there for the incense. All right, but that is not for now. For now is my mortar and pestle. I like to use, I have a few different mortar and pestles, but I like to use anything that's not too grindy, just more of like an earthy blend. I like to use in wood, so something soft. Oh wow, I've got a helicopter coming in low, guys. Okay, so here are my ingredients. Okay, this massive jar that you see is full of pinyon pine resin and a little bit of juniper resin, just that I've collected around my forest, which is over yonder. So my little pinyon pine juniper forest, which technically I guess they call it a dwarf forest. I like my dwarf forest. But if you guys could smell the inside of this, it's amazing. Just smell it up. I don't collect every piece of resin. I know it doesn't like actually show because this looks like a lot of resin, but technically there is a lot of resin on my property, a lot. And so this is all that I've collected, and I've decided that's it. Everything else I want to leave to the forest. our native ancestors used to utilize pinyon pine resin for clearing. They also used to burn juniper branches, which is gaddesh, which is Diné or Navajo for the ash of the burning of the gad, which is the berries, meaning juniper berries, and gaddesh is like the sacred ash utilized in that. And so that smoke and everything that is created, it was used for ceremony, and it was used before people went on to war or for a hunt, just for that added protection. And then they would do the same for pinyon pine resin. So they would burn some of that when they were going into meditations, or going on like a vision quest. So this to me is very sacred. It's part of my forest. And of course, if I'm going to be doing an offering to Mother Earth, then it's going to be my personal connection to the earth that I'm in, my location that I'm in right now, my locale. So that's why I'm going to use pinyon pine resin. So again, you guys don't have to use the same if you don't want to. John said, those are so pretty. Have you found any tree pearls while out in your forest? I have, actually. And somewhere in here, there's a couple, but for the most part, I leave them because they look so beautiful in the sun. And yeah, I leave that for the forest. It's such a magical forest. Okay, next, I'm going to be utilizing rose. Why do I utilize rose? Because, well, of that loving, peaceful, yet powerful and protective energy that rose is. And of course, I connect it to the divine feminine, which I connect to Mother Earth. And I basically use rose in almost every tea blend and every spell that I do, because I love the energy of rose. It's not just a pretty flower to me, it's the energy that that flower has. I've loved roses since I was a kid. Even when I was a toddler, I asked my mom if I could change my name to Rose. I didn't like my name Tara, so I wanted to be Rose so bad. And then I was jealous when my cousin Christine, I found out her middle name was Rose. I was like, Christine Rose? What? How come she gets to be Rose? I want to be Rose. I just loved roses so much. So that is also a part of our incense blend. And then we're going to be using some patchouli. Just a dash, though, just a little bit of patchouli incense. And again, for me, this is very grounding, very earthy vibes. And I'm keeping Mother Earth in mind as well. Of course, I think that she would love having her resin, come back into her soil. I think that she would love the ash from these roses into her soil, turning that soil. And, I will let the ash, of course, go to the wind, and I'll turn some up into the soil as well, so that she really feels it in the ground. But for me, patchouli, again, is that very grounded, very earthy, but also good at creating a peace in the stillness. And sometimes, I think Mother Earth, she's a busy lady, she's got a lot going on. So I think a little peace will do her well. So we're going to use some patchouli. And then I have these patchouli incense cones. I don't have patchouli essential oil, and that's what I was going to use. But I was like, you know what? I have these incense cones. I'll just grind up one of the cones, because it has the essential oil of patchouli in it, which is why the fragrance, what am I, Elmer Fudd? The fragrance is so strong. Okay. Lastly, so again, it's not a whole lot of ingredients. I have mandrake root. FYI, mandrake is poisonous. So do not ingest this. See, little warning, mandrake poisonous, no ingesty, no eaty. Keep away from animals and all of that. But for burning, great. So for me, mandrake root is like the protective herb. And I want to make sure Mama Gaia has as much protection as possible while she goes about and does her daily thing. The lady never sleeps. There's, if stuff's not going on in the northern hemisphere, stuff's going on in the southern hemisphere. When one's asleep, the other's awake. She just, wow. I mean, how much coffee does she drink? Anyway, so we're going to be using a little bit of mandrake as well. John says they take so long to grow. I know, dude. And that's what, our forest is so old. Those juniper trees, well into about 900 to 1,000 years old, if not more. Those pine trees, those pinyon pine trees, 800 to 900 years old. Those are some old trees. And it takes like about what they say, like 100 years or so, 50 to 100 years for it to start like really decaying. And there's a lot of decay, of course, of like old trees that have fallen over and some that are almost fully back into the earth. So I'm like, how old was that tree when it fell? It must have been like already almost 1,000 years old. And then for the 100 years or more for it to like fully decay, or a couple hundred years, it's like, wow, it's just, I love the forest. I love to see it in its different stages of growth and decay. And it's not really decay because they never really die, but you know what I'm saying. So anyway, let's get back to Earth Mama incense. And John says, a flower by any other name smells as sweet. We love who you are. Thank you. Yes, I learned that as well. Thank you, Romeo and Juliet. And well, technically Shakespeare, or as we may think now, it could have been Shakespeare's partner. Who knows? But that's a conspiracy for another time. Anywho, Lily says, yeah, Mandrake will have you go psychotic and you may never come back. Yeah, don't do the Mandrake. But incense, yay. Eating, no. Okay, so I am going to take out a piece of our resin. If we had smell-o-vision, I would say smell it up right now. Oh, holy cow, it smells so good. I would like this resin ball, actually. Okay, so we're going to take this little piece of resin right here. That smells amazeballs. Ha, get it? Amazeballs. Anyway, so I'm going to drop that in there. And we're going to take, by the way, this is my very special herb spoon. I only use it with my herbs. I don't use metal spoons or anything. This is my spoon. I just feel that it adds some beautiful properties, magical properties, nice cleansing properties to whatever it is that I'm creating. All right, let's go Mandrake next. So as I'm doing this, I'm thanking these herbs for coming through today to help us out. All right, Mandrake. Thank you for your help. I might need more Mandrake soon. Hi, I need to order some more poison. Thank you. Okay. And then I'm just going to do a dash of patchouli. A little dash will do you. Poop. Just like that. And then I'm going to take this patchouli incense cone. We're actually going to smash this up. I have not opened this one. Here we go. One patchouli incense cone about to be obliterated. In the name of Gaia, of course. Alrighty. So now I'm just going to do a little mixy, just like this. And then I'm going to smash, ta-da, I'm going to smash this incense cone. I'm not going to smash my resin too much. I feel bad smashing my resin. It's so old. Do you know how long it took for that resin to occur? That's why this is a very special blend. But you know, it's going back to Gaia, so I'm all for it. All right. Smells good. Besides, I don't even think I could break this resin because it's so old, actually. So we're going to have that burn right onto our charcoal, which we are going to light. All right, so have a look at this. This is for you, Mama Gaia. Oh my gosh, it smells so freaking good. Oh my gosh. Okay, again, I know this is a personal blend, but to me, this is how Gaia smells, like when she's going out on a hot date. This is hot Mama Gaia right here. Girl, you be smelling good. um, Lily says, I was getting some pine resin and it got on my fingers and I felt like I had crazy glue on my fingertips for days. Dude, that happens, especially like around Yule time and I'm decorating my Yule tree and I'm like getting up all up in these pine trees. I have like sap like in my hair, on my clothes, but I smell good. I'm like, I smell like a pine tree. It smells so good. So it's like, but it is sticky. Yes, I concur. Okay, so let's bring back our little cauldron here and we are going to light her up just so that I could light my charcoal. Okay, so I'm gonna get one of these little charcoals here. I'm actually running low on charcoal. Gotta make a run to the smoke shop soon. Okay, so I have a little charcoal disc. You use these normally for like hookahs, but I use them for my incenses. And what I love the quick start charcoals because it looks like fireworks. It's freaking awesome. It like crackles and pops and fireworks. It's such a show. I'm like, I love it. Burn, baby, burn. The pyro in me is so happy. And then I just kind of wait for it to stop snap, crackle, popping. And then it'll be ready for the incense. All right, I think our charcoal is pretty much ready to go. Okay, so I'll put that there. I'll blow out my candle. I don't need that going. Okie dokie. All right, so I'm going to do a bit of ceremony over this incense. So I clear away any and all other energies that were attached to these herbs that do not serve what I'm planning on doing here, which is offering this to Mama Gaia. So just clearing that away, clearing my own energy. Clear, clear, clear. Put my breath into it. Thus imbibing it with my own energy. And at this time, you could speak your intentions into here. I have this, it's actually like a badger, kind of sort of a rattle. It makes a rattly noise, but I use it for sacred, like really sacred ceremony. And I feel like this is, since this is for Mama Gaia, again, keeping all negative energy away, and also asking for the strength of badger to help strengthen and enliven this mixture for Mama Gaia. So asking for badger. Okay. Okay, so now, like I said, we're going to go ahead and put this incense ball, this resin ball, right on here. So let me lift it up for you guys to see. Ooh, you can see it's already starting to smoke. Hey, baby. Oh my God, that smells so good. Okay, Ooh, it's sizzling. Sizzle, baby. Okay. Now I'm going to put a little bit of my incense on here. Wow. And I have totally, wow. Oh my gosh. This is awesome. It smells so beautiful. I feel like I'm cleansing the entire neighborhood right now. And that's cool with me. Let's cleanse this forest. Oh my goodness. It smells divine. And once this all turns all the way down to ash, I'm going to bury this in the soil. So allowing Mama Gaia to receive this in her winds, feel it in her fire. I'm going to add a bit of my saliva, basically spit into the ground after I bury it in the ground. So it has all aspects: earth, fire, wind, water, spirit. Silver Star says, I have a few of those here. They love sharing. Oh yes, the very grippy pine resin. Lily says, I wanted to find some wild peony seeds. They also call them rosary peas and rosemary peas. And a month later, I found them a block down from me, growing wild, hundreds of them. I love them when they hear and share with us. Ah, that's awesome. Okay. Because this is from Mama Gaia, I'm going to try to play my flute. Granted, I do not play well. I just want to preface that I'm not a professional flute player. I don't even feel I play well, but I'm doing it for Mama Gaia. So it's for her. Okay. Um, maybe I want to use this. There we go. Just pushing some of the incense. There we go. So my flute. All right. Hope you love it, Mama Gaia. Okay, I'm about to put more on this lady here. And it's burning so well. That resin smells so good. Ooh, big piece of mandrake. Heck yeah. John said, wow. Kayla said, beautiful. Lily says, wow, you're getting good. Felt that in my soul, made my eyes water. What does the tune you played speak about? Um, I was more, to me, it felt like the days going by, the days, the years, the millennia, just things growing, dying, rebirthing. It's like phoenix energy over and over and over again. Death and rebirth, death and rebirth. From sunrise to sunset, from summer to winter and back again. That's just kind of what I was feeling while I was playing. Just the cycles, the beautiful cycles that are eternal. Doesn't matter what dimension you live in, whether you're in this third dimension or the 13th dimension or in a completely different universe. All that is eternal are those cycles, that everything is always moving forward, even when time doesn't exist. So that's what I was feeling. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Silver Star said that was beautiful. Thank you. Like I said, I'm not a professional flute player, so or a flutist. I just really like my flute, so I just kind of go with my intuition. Um, while this is burning, if you guys want to do super chats and super stickers, we could do that. I brought one of my tarot decks over. I brought the weird cat tarot, so hey. But then after that, hold on, let me lift this back up again. Hey. But then after this, we could do our channeled guided meditation. And I think that'll be a lot of fun skis. So yeah, if you guys would like to do super chat, super stickers, I've got my weird cat tarot here. We have our incense burning, like what? um, and I'm really feeling for the channel guided meditation. I might actually play my flute again. I know I'm not the best, but it's like what I'm feeling called to do. So, okay. Sorry, just moving some of my supplies over so I can make more room for myself. Put that there too. Doopity doop. Alrighty. Um, Lily said, it was nice. Silver Star says it was from the heart, and I could feel it. And Lily said, yes, definitely. Duality Tale said, beautiful. Well, thank you, thank you, thank you so much, you guys. um, I don't know, just something about, okay, so did I already tell you guys this story? I think I did, about like why I picked up that flute is because I've always been attracted to flutes. Like ever since I was like a toddler, like a baby, like I wanted to hold flutes. I wanted to play them and I had like plastic flutes. I had like all kinds of flutes and whistles and stuff when I was like a little kid. Um, but they didn't have, they felt like toys to me. I mean, they were toys, but they just didn't have that, like, I don't know, it just didn't, I wanted something made of wood, and I don't know if, like, even when I was like 3 years old, like I didn't know why I needed like a wood flute, but like my toy plastic flutes weren't doing it for me. And so when I was in elementary school, I got a piece of wood and I tried to use another piece of wood that I would sharpen, and I was trying to bore out a flute and actually like whittled a flute for myself. And so I had all the holes, I drilled it all the way through. I was super happy with it. And then my mom tossed it out because we don't keep sticks in the house. And I was so bummed because it took me, like, in my mind, it took me years, but it probably took me like a year to make that flute. That's the most dedication I'd put towards anything as an elementary school kid. Um, and then later on in elementary school, there was like a free after school program where you could play an instrument. And I chose flute. I wanted to learn how to play a flute. But some family circumstances happened and my flute was taken away and I couldn't play the flute. And so now that I'm an adult and I could afford this wooden flute, I was like, I bought it and I was like, I'm freaking gonna learn how to play it. And I'm just gonna play from my heart. I don't want to know notes. I don't want to know music. I just want to play from my heart because that's how I've been feeling like my whole life with flutes. So I don't know. Still got to do some more meditation on like my connection to flute. So all right, our buddy John has done a super sticker. Thank you. So let me know what your question is. Thank you. Thank you. Again, we have our weird cat tarot, which we could definitely cleanse in the incense smoke. I'm loving that. Yeah. Get your burn on, baby. Love it. Can't wait to burn some more later. Whew. Wrap that up in Mama Gaia's earth. Okay, so I'm going to shuffle up these cards. Going to have a little bit more wah-wah. Silver Star was enamored with the edges of this deck. Check it out. I love the funkiness of this deck. It is weird. I love the weird cat. That is my jam. Okay. All right. So yeah, so John, just let me know if you have a particular question in mind. Maybe you just want some guidance from Mama Gaia, something from the higher self. But yeah, totally up to you. I'm like getting high on my incense now. I'm like, so good, so good. Oh yeah, I was gonna ask you guys, are there any other June birthdays coming up? Any more June babies, Gemini babies, or late June Cancer babies? So definitely let me know. So like I said, my brother's birthday is on the 4th. My Nana, if she were still around, her birthday would have been on the 7th, which would be, I think, Saturday next week. And then my birthday is on the 10th. And then my grandmother's birthday, my other grandma, um, I believe her birthday is on the 23rd. I believe, yeah, I believe she's a Cancer. Yeah, she was in Gemini. And then my grandfather, my dad's father, Egypto, my Lulu, he would be his birthday. I was born on his birthday, so he was also born on June 10th, but June 10th, 1900. And then, I was born June 10th of 81. And then my brother was born on my mom's grandpa's birthday. So Grandpa Andy was born on June 4th. So yeah, interesting. So great Grandpa Andy for us. But yeah. Okay, John says, I'd like a message from the rivers in my locality. They've been over their banks a lot over the last couple of months, Mississippi and Missouri. Okay. It says, I've been getting their power. All right. So let's definitely tap into the rivers. And interesting you say that because that jogged a piece of my memory. I still don't remember my whole dream last night. But I remember a river overflowing, kind of like the Nile, like doing its inundation. It's interesting. And then interesting you asked that question. So, fascinating. Lily says, it was meant for you to play. I bought some conga drums a few months back. I always wanted to play. My 16-year-old son plays better than I, and he never practiced. You know what? I agree. Sometimes they're just things that we are connected to, and our soul or our past life is just playing through us, you know? So I think that's amazing. Okay, so John, let me tap into those rivers. Mississippi, Missouri, you said? Yes. Wow. Okay. So I'm taking my time on this one because it's, normally I get like, especially from you, there's always an amazing musical playlist coming from your soul. Um, but it seemed like it was, um, have you ever seen like on Instagram or other social media where they're playing a song, but they're taking a bazillion different clips from different like movies and different other songs to like recreate that song? You know what I'm saying? So it's like a person says the word "the" from this movie, and then somebody says "river" from this movie, and it's kind of like do 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 do, but they're taking all these different pieces from different like songs and movies, and that is what's going on when I hear this. It's like I see almost like an entity, but not really one particular being. It's like a conglomeration of beings, like rising from those rivers. Um, and it feels neither feminine nor masculine, but perhaps like a mixture of the two. And it's like they're taking like almost every song I know, and every movie, every TV show I've ever watched, and it was like they were like scanning my brain and putting it all together. So I'm going to tap in one more time because I want to see like what it is they're trying to say through those different TV shows, movies, and music. This is fascinating. I'm so glad you asked this question because this is whoa. And Lily's like, "Wow, John, that's powerful." Like, yeah, dude, yes. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to repeat what I hear. From the depths, from the under, from the dark, torn asunder, from the sky, from which we cry, raining down like thunder, bridging gaps, two worlds, no longer split, all illusion, all is one. Remember, you are not the sun, you are eternal. Shaking ground, shaking soul, raining sky, melting away. From the clouds came the truth. From the sun came the doorway. Hand on ground, mouth to earth, earth to mouth, resuscitation, surrounding you, an eternal, verdant vegetation, rising up through the ethers. The time has come, not just yours. The rivers rise, and so do you. Now's the time to open your eyes. Whoa, whoa, okay, okay. I don't know if that made any sense. Okay, okay, okay. Let me collect myself for a moment. Maybe I'm like, it's a mixture of getting high on the incense here and just like all the energy that's surrounding me, and then tapping into your freaking rivers was like, wow, Wow. John says, yes, about a month ago, I was driven to make an offering to a tributary literally in my yard. So I offered an aquamarine. I had to make an effort because all access points were closed due to flooding. Wow, dude. Oh, and he said the Merrimack River too. I'm literally between all three. Wow. This is definitely going to have to come back to this. Yeah. Okay, but let me pull a card and let's see if we can make sense of their. I think they were doing poetry or a riddle or something. Um, sounded rhymy. Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, I really feel that this is like something is brewing. Not, um, I don't feel any sort of fear though. It's not scary, not like oh darkness, not fear, but something that you're noticing but that other people are noticing in different ways. So you're noticing through your rivers, your waters. Some people are noticing it through the sun. Some people are noticing it when they put their hand to the ground. I think that's what they're trying to say in their like poem riddle thing. Um, and there are some people who've yet to open their eyes. They don't see, but maybe perhaps in this lifetime they're not meant to see. I mean, we're all on our different journeys in this lifetime, but those who were meant to see in this lifetime are seeing through what it is that they're most connected to. You know, for me, I'm really connected to like the sun. I mean, yes, I'm connected to trees and nature and animals and all of that. But whenever I notice any changes in the earth, I notice it in the sun. For you, you're noticing it in your rivers. For some people, they'll notice it in their oceans or they notice it in the soil. Something's different with the soil, the ground. Maybe they notice it in their animals, but everybody is seeing this like big change coming. And I think some people are feeling like it's supposed to be some like worldwide, you know, universe, solar system change happening. And it could be for some. Maybe for some, that is their reality where something massive changes on the global scale or perhaps a universal scale. But for some people, the change is really coming from within. It's just a you know a big change there, and well, the world is a mirror. It is just like a reflection of what's going on the inside. So you know, if there's a massive change going on in you, then yeah, it would look like the world had changed, but really it was just you that changed. Um, so I feel like the rivers are trying to let you know that there is a big change coming. Not going to say it's coming tomorrow, not going to even say that it's coming next week, but just know that something is building. This like Eight of Pentacles, I get something is building, something's brewing, but it's beautiful. Like this, John, don't be scared. You know, don't be scared. It's wonderful, it's powerful, it's beautiful. You are a part of this, you are part of those rivers. You're technically alerting yourself. This is like yourself letting yourself know. Um, so whew, whew, oh my gosh, I got sweaty on that one. um John says, I'm not afraid of a challenge as far as making sense on my own time. That's interesting because I was considering asking about solar information affecting the land. The rivers are just singing right now. Dude, that is amazing. And whoo, and I think that's it's a good, well, I know it's your message, but it's like a good message for all of us too. So wow, what a powerful message. Like I'm feeling the energy like super strong. Like if I just got finished doing a channeling video or something, like, you know, I get like really hot and really sweaty. I'm like super hot and it has nothing to do with the sun right now. It's just like I'm internally hot. Which is probably why naturally I'm so very cold all the time. My hands are cold, my feet are cold. I'm just like I naturally run cool. Probably because I run hot when I channel. And if I ran hot naturally, I think I would just spontaneously combust when I channel. So I think it's a good balance. Um, but yeah, I'm feeling like I just finished channeling. I feel like so hot. I feel like sweaty. I feel like, whoo, like, let's just keep channeling. Like, I don't know, like I'm high on channeling. This is awesome. John says, thank you. And of course, thank you, Rivers and my higher self. You are very welcome. And yeah, I feel big, big changes coming for you. Coming to take away, wash away some of the old paradigms, some of the old beliefs, some of the old versions that you still see yourself as. You're going to need to be the John of now, of the here and now, stepping into that present moment of whatever that is going to be. So that's freaking awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much for allowing me to read for you on that one. That was, wow, I felt that one. I felt that one deep. Whoa. I'm going to need a little water, ground myself. Whew. Okay. All right. Well, on that note, anyone else like to do a super chat or super sticker? If not, maybe we can ground into Mama Gaia, really feel kind of using John's reading as like a jumping off point. How are we seeing our changes? You know, maybe some of you guys already know off the top of your head, like, oh, like for me, seeing changes is within the animals. I always see it in the animals first. Oh, for me, I always see it in the land first. Or, you know, sometimes for some people, it's like, oh, I always see it in my skin first. I notice that when my skin is doing something funky, like the energy is funky. Or not funky, just intense. It's just a changeling. But yeah, I feel like for the channel guided meditation, I want to do my flute because I feel like my flute helps to ground me in a way. um, but then to help us to see where we notice changes first so we can hone in on it. So basically going inwards and having it come up for you, like, where do I notice changes first? Maybe I feel it in my body. Maybe I notice it in my skin. Maybe it's a scent in the air. Maybe I notice it in the sun, the animals. Maybe I notice it in the rivers and the oceans. But yeah, I think that'll be really beneficial and to get us to just kind of like sit with it, feel through it so we can be more cognizant of it during non-meditation times. All right. Hey, Lily. Um, she says, thank you. Would like a general reading. Okay. Okay. Could definitely do that. Lily says, yes, thank you, powerful water of the rivers. And John says, I appreciate why I was. They've carried me this far. They can take a rest now. Yes. Oh, very nice. And John says, I can afford to donate a reading if someone can't afford one. Oh, wow. Thank you, John. So, so kind. You guys are freaking amazing. Thank you. Thank you. And Lily says, you're so thoughtful and sweet, John. You are, dude. You are all so wonderful. Wow. I appreciate it. Okay. So Lily, let me situate myself. Well, I am on Rex's bed. I guess this would account for all the dog fur on my legs now. I'm just going to turn into Rex. Okay. Okay. Lily, let's tap in. Oh, you know what? I don't have my drum with me, but that's exactly what I'm hearing, Lily. Um, it's like somebody has a big water drum and I hear whoom, 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 whoom. Um, but the vision I'm seeing, I'm only seeing somebody from the knees down and she's barefoot. But I see her running through like the sticks and it doesn't hurt her feet. I think she's used to being barefoot, but it's the cadence that she has as she was like running through this like dense vegetation, um, rocks and soil and sticks, and it's that beat. Whoom, 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 whoom. She's running, dum, whoom, 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 whoom. Just running, running, and the soil is so rich, it's black. Um, and it reminds me of the name Egypt. that it was originally named for its black soil. It wasn't, obviously, it wasn't always a desert, um, but it had this dark, rich soil, like, and they named it Egypt, um, for its like being so fertile, so full of life. But that's what I see beneath her feet, and that's what's calling to mind is Egypt and its black soil, and just running. Whoom, 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 whoom. Wow, that's so interesting. Okay. Um, okay. Let's um let's pull a card on that one. See if I can make sense of the beat of this girl's feet running through the black soil and why Egypt is coming up. This is interesting. Well, I mean, they're all interesting. All your readings are interesting. Okay. Ooh, we have the devil card. Okay. Let me tap into this. Interesting. I think everybody's all, well, I mean, we're all connected. Duh. We're all like, we're all one. But it seemed like a variation of what John's rivers were telling him. This is the earth talking to you, the soil itself. Like for you, it's the soil. You notice changes first from what comes of the soil, from the soil, in the plants, in the flowers, in the soil itself. Is it dry? Is it moist? Is it rocky? Is it loomy? And the message coming through for you is just wanting you to know of all the beautiful technological 3D comforts that we have. If the technology in the form that we understand it were to revert to something more, what we might see as primitive, but it's not primitive at all, would you be okay with it? What things would you struggle with letting go of that you rely on in terms of our current 2025 technology? Because they're showing me the Egyptians, they're showing me the Mayans, and how technologically advanced they were, but just because we see them as a linear past, we see them as less advanced because we feel like since everything moves, quote unquote, in a linear fashion in 3D, that everything must always get better. So we think that now, where we are now in modern times, our technology is so much better than the past because they don't have what we have now. But this is a reminder that they had more than we have now. It just looked different. And it was more nature based. It was nature's technology instead of some other form of technology, which we've embraced nowadays. So your higher self is asking you which of the current technologies that are non nature based that you utilize, which of those would you have difficulty letting go of? And in those that you would have difficulty in letting go of, how could you switch them to more nature-based technology? And they're wanting you to know this because there's going to be a bit of a change in terms of our technology. Again, not saying it's coming tomorrow or next week, um, but soon. It's it's changing the technology, changing technology. Interesting. Oh my goodness. Whew. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Sorry. I'm like all off in channeling mode right now. I'm like, wow. Um, but yeah, just what could you switch to a more nature-based technology? And not to say that we all need to go live in the woods and we all need to go, live in a hogan or something. Um, but just like little tweaks, having a balance between our nature technology and understanding the technology that is not from Mama Gaia. There is technology that we have that is not really from this realm. Um, So we'd say it's non-terrestrial technology. But having a balance between the two and understanding the energy of both and just being able to have a more balanced life with both instead of, saying, okay, I'm going all nature based, which is what some of our cultures did in the past. And then there was issues with that. And then there were some that were all like, let's say Atlantean, embracing non-terrestrial technologies, some terrestrial. But how can we have that balance for you between the two? It seems like that's really coming up for you. Whew, whew. Oh my goodness. Wow. I hope that makes sense, Lily. I know I was like going off on a tangent there. Um, Duality Tale says, I have money. I just had to cancel my bank card. So John has offered up that reading. That is so sweet. Silver Star also saying that's super sweet. Uh, I really do love you all. You have such great hearts. You guys do. And John said, if something doesn't take this, just going to go towards my appreciation for what you bring. Awesome. That is so amazing. You're so nice. And Duality Tales says, I will accept it if you don't mind. Very kind. All right. So Duality Tales, wonderful, wonderful. And then just asking Duality, the question says, I would like a message from my higher self, just something I need to hear to support me right now. All right. And a little I love you from Riley. Okay. Incense still going off. I love it. That resin burns forever, man. Um, Also, what kind of makes the trees flammable? but, but they smell nice. Okay, so let's tap into Duality Tales. I feel like I'm in deep channeling mode right now, and it's probably a lot of it doing like the incense, but also the energy right now is just like I'm like I'm like in the zone right now, like in channeling zone. I feel everything. It's kind of like the same feeling I have when I've been smoking weed, but I haven't been hanging out with Mary this morning. Okay. I do hear a song, and in the background is, dance to the music, dance to the music. So that song's playing. But then I see like the record spinning, and then pretty much all of a sudden you don't see the record anymore, and it becomes like a whirlpool spinning and spinning. But that music is still playing. It's still bright. It's still happy. And then it's like we go down and down into this like whirlpool, and everything is just in this like slow motion, like movement, spinning and swirling and shifting, movement, like movement downwards, but also movement upwards. It's like being in the middle of some vortex or whatever, where the whirlpool is like moving outwards like this, like up, down, in, out. And all the while, I keep hearing dance to the music. It's like this rhythm, this dancing. And no matter like how things swirl, like no matter how things go, just keep dancing, keep moving. It's when you try to stop moving in this perpetual swirl, this perpetual dance of the energies, dance of the universe. It's when we stop that we become out of sync. It's like trying to dance with a partner who is trying to stop your movements, and they end up stepping all over your feet because they're not going with the flow, they're not going with the rhythm. And so your higher self is letting you know that no matter what swirls you feel, no matter what movement, you have to keep yourself moving and flowing with it. If you're trying to stop and be like, okay, just wait, I need everything to just stop and be still for a moment, just know that that's going to be rather difficult to do, especially now in this very energetic time. Everything is like really moving quickly. So instead of freaking out with the energy, have fun with it, turn it into a song. If you feel like things are coming intensely for you, if there's a lot happening, try to match that intensity. Dance with it, laugh with it. Find a comedy movie to watch that matches the intensity of the energy that you're feeling. If it's a very heavy energy, pick a really, really, really funny movie to watch. Dance to a really, really good song. If the energy feels light at the moment, find something light to watch. Find some light music to dance to. And in that, that's how you start to match the energy so that you don't feel so out of sync. So things don't start to feel so heavy for you, or they don't start to feel so anxious or so worrisome, that you feel more in the flow with things. And although, light and shadow is still happening, things are still going on in the news, things are still going on around the world and in your life, it won't feel so jarring to you because you feel like you're flowing with it. You feel like you're matching that energy and just kind of flowing with it. Um, I hope that makes sense. But let me pull a card as well. Um, Lily says, I've been biohacking with my grounding mats. I'll have to ground with the earth. Maybe they want more time. Okay. 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 So we have the Five of Cups. Again, that swirling energy, swirly, swirly, swirly. And so, yes, just you'll feel more at peace and at ease. Like this is your form of grounding. Yes, I mean, we all ground in different ways. Some people ground in the ocean, actually. I like to ground in the shower. I know I actually ground with water, and maybe not everybody does that, but for you, a form of grounding is actually matching the energy with something that lights you up. So let's say something very heavy happens in your life and you're like, oh my gosh, this has me fretting, this has me worrying. But that intensity, you feel, try and pinpoint that intensity. Like, where do I feel it in my body? Maybe I feel it in my heart. Maybe I feel it in my stomach. Maybe I'm feeling aches and pains in my hips or something, like really root chakra type stuff. So I want to watch a movie that makes me laugh so hard I feel it down into my hips, because you want to send this matching energy, but more of a lighter version, down into where you're feeling this current energy, where you're feeling this anxiety and this worry. You want to make those belly laughs. You want to get that sacral and that root chakra just but matching the intensity that you feel. If you feel let's say a sadness, but it's kind of a light sadness, maybe I'll play some light music, something that makes me happy. It's not too intense, but something light. And and I could, it'll help you work through the things that you need to work through, your shadow work, your journaling, whatever it is you need to work through, but matching the intensity of the energy that you feel, but on the opposite polarity. So the same could be said if like everything is going well, like everything is just like everything is awesome. Da, 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 da. You ever watch the Lego movie? Anyway. So if everything is like awesome, but it just feels so intense, like wow, everything is just great, but it's like happening. Okay, then maybe I need to watch like a dark comedy, to kind of match that intensity, but on the opposite end of the spectrum, hence bringing you back into balance, helping you to ground. Um, so again, hope that makes sense. Okay. So wow, such interesting messages for you guys. Thank you so much for allowing me to read for you guys. Yeah, if anybody else wants to do super chats, super stickers, let me know. And if not, let's ground with the flute. And throw a bit more incense on my charcoal here. Let's do it. Ooh, okay. Okay. I love it. I love it. Just putting more incense on. I can tell Mama Gaia likes this. Get it, girl. My first mama, the earth. Actually, one of the best mamas I ever had. And it is from her that I learned to be a good mama to myself. um, Duality Tales says that makes perfect sense. Thank you, John and Tara. You are very welcome. Wow. Wow. Just so many powerful messages today. Holy guacamole. um, okay. Um, on that note, then, yeah, if there are no more super chat, super stickers, let's do our channel guided meditation. I'm excited for this. Maybe I'll point the camera down so that you guys can kind of like look at the incense burning for this meditation. All right, so I'm gonna move this over here. Um, John says, all the love, Duality Tales. Silver Star says, out moving plants, making sure they don't get burned. It's starting to get hot here. Starting to warm up. I mean, we had kind of a, I've been saying we had kind of a warm winter. Barely any snow, like maybe like a of snow. It didn't really get that cold. So I think it's going to be a very warm summer. Ooh. I kind of got used to the cooler temperatures up here in the mountains. Um, okay, so let me point my camera down. Let's move this over here. I'm going to get out of the picture because I don't need to be in the picture. Okay, we'll have our incense blends back here. Still feeling the powerful energy of these herbs. Okay. All right. I'm going to move out of the way for y'all. Here I go. Okie dokie. Artichokes. All right. So let's get ready for this guided meditation. Sorry, I'm just like getting out of the way for you guys. Okay. Go ahead and find yourself a nice, comfortable space, a place you will be undisturbed for the next several minutes. You could be lying down, lying under a tree, sitting on a pillow, sitting in your favorite chair, wherever is comfortable for you. And as you get yourself situated, I want to mention a beautiful blue dragonfly, the first of the season that I see coming through for our meditation. He just flew by, so I know this is going to be rather special. And as you get yourself situated, bring your awareness to your breath, feeling the rise and fall your chest, becoming attunely aware to the air around you, the temperature. Is it warm? Is it cool? Does it feel hot to the touch? Is there a gentle breeze? Feeling all of the sensations. Is there a scent in the air? Perhaps it's the scent in your room. Perhaps smelling the earth herself. What do you hear? Perhaps birds, dogs, maybe the next door neighbor. But we're just an observer, not giving anything too much attention, just watching and allowing it to float on by. What we feel on our skin, the noises that we hear, feeling of our own breath in our body. Again, just breathing in and out. And as we continue to breathe, I want you to imagine an energy, a spherical energy in front of you. Perhaps you feel this spherical, pulsating, bright white energy. Perhaps you feel it in your body. Perhaps you sense it as a scent. Perhaps it sounds like music to you, or perhaps you are visualizing it. This pulsating, undulating, bright white light. And this light is you. It is the light of the whole, but you are a part of that whole, so it is also you. And as we feel into this energy, recognizing our pure essence, we're allowing any and all sensations and the way in which we interpret our intuition to come forward and show us how we connect to the changes around us. Perhaps we feel it through vibration, or the feeling of the soil, or animals. Maybe we see it in the sun. Maybe we notice it in our rivers. But just gently allow, as an observer, this information to come to you. right. Go ahead and bring your awareness back into your body, feeling you encompass all parts of your being, from your tippy toes down to your fingertips and to the crown of your head. Taking a nice deep breath, thanking your higher self for allowing you to be privy to this energy, to this information, seeing yourself in this beautiful form, the all, and having yourself a nice stretch. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me here today. I guess I can lift this back up now. Yay! Whoa, here I am. Hey! Duality Tale says namaste. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I love playing my flute, and I'm glad I was able to share that with you. Along with our guided meditation. Thank you, everybody who allowed me to read for them. Everybody who hung out with us today and offered up their messages, and for everybody's kindness, for John for offering up a reading for someone. Thank you so much. Um, John says, a breath that flows like a river, vibrato like a brook, flowing over stone. Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. And he says, thank you. Love you all. Silver Star said, thank you, Tara. Love to you all. Love to you guys. Thank you for joining me on this beautiful Sunday. It is getting warmer and warmer, so I'm happy the sun was out. Anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Sending you lots of love. I hope you have an amazing week. Remember the messages that we heard that, maybe energy might be a bit much, but remember, it's going to come to a standstill, and it's a wonderful time for reflection, and also taking into account all the messages you got from people's readings today. So thank you. Duality Tales showed a beautiful purple heart. I love purple. And Silver Star says, have a beautiful day, week. See you guys next time. All right, guys. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out. Bye.